What's up guys, Elfis here, and today we're going to be doing another Han hero review, this time for Kinesis, as requested. I know somebody also requested Rhapsody, I just haven't gotten around to that one yet. I know that one was actually requested first, so don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I know more about Kinesis, so I did him first, sorry. So we're doing a Kinesis review, so I'm going to quickly, go over the skills and how powerful or weak I think they are. Then I'm going to talk about how the hero fits into his role altogether, and then I'll talk about how he fits into the meta, okay? So let's get into this. I'm going to just mouse over the skills, you guys can read them yourself. So, his Q. His Q is an interesting skill. It's incredibly hard to use offensively. It's easy to use defensively, okay? But it's hard to use offensively because you cannot it's almost impossible to guarantee the damage as well as the stun. Okay, you can guarantee the immobilization, that's just an easy guarantee, you use it on somebody. But it's very hard to guarantee the damage and the stun on enemy heroes. So that part of the ability is really somewhat of a gamble, so to speak. In team fights, it's a bit more easy to, increase your odds of getting it down, but it's still not a guarantee. So the skill itself, I don't think is very strong. It's a decent immobilization, 2.5 seconds at max. Technically it's a stun, not an immobilization, sorry, but I'm just calling it an immobilization because it just feels more like an immobilization because of the way it works. But technically it's a stun, so it's my mistake. It's a 2.5 second stun, which is good, I guess, but while they're stunned, they take a lot less damage, 50% less damage, so it's not 100% really a stun. It's kind of a weakness to them as well. I like to think of it as an immobilization because of the fact that you're using it not to stun, you're really using it to stop them from moving, because if you're just using it to stun, they take less damage, so it's not necessarily well thought out in that regard. But its damage is okay, and its stunning when it lands is okay as well, but again, it's hard to land, so you can't really count that down as usefulness for the skill because it's really hard to land. So the skill itself is not really all that strong in my opinion. It's a difficult skill to guarantee its use, so it's very hard to rate it, you know what I mean? It's a hard skill to use, which makes it even less good, so to speak, even worse. It's harder to land it, so it's difficult. Next, we'll move on to his W. His W is actually fantastic. It's a fairly low mana cost. I'm going to go down to this so you can see the mana cost. 55 for 100 damage. It's a 55 mana cost, ability for 100 damage, and at max level, the cooldown is the charges refresh at every 2.5 seconds. Sorry, 2.5 seconds. You get another charge. You can build up to 4 charges. You can nuke 400 magic damage instantly. Obviously, that's pre-mitigation, stuff like that. You press W to lift stuff up, press E to throw them. The only problem is that you have to be near things to lift and throw. So if you're fighting, right outside the Kongor pit, there's really nothing there. It's very difficult to use in that regard. So it's strong, it's not useful everywhere on the map is the problem with it. So again, a strong ability that has some fairly heavy setbacks or disabilities to it. We'll move on to his E. His E is actually fantastic. 50% spell damage attempted to heroes. That means pre-mitigation. So for example, if I shoot 4 of these, that means I'll get a 400 damage spell shield, okay? The other thing to note, actually I didn't realize this, but Mach works on this. Tatty Jangles informed me of this as I was playing this game. Apparently that works, even though I personally don't think Mach is spell damage. I guess maybe that's a glitch, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's meant to be that way, but I just find that odd. So I guess there are certain spells that do it. If Mach works, that leads me to believe that maybe Grimoire and the Searing items work as well. So I could be mistaken, but that's what that leads me to believe. I haven't tested those. So, onto his ultimate. His ultimate's really cool. They changed it a little while back. It used to be you pick an area and it picked up everything in the area and then you throw it at another area. Now it's just it picks up the nearest stuff to you and then you just click the area to throw it. So that's a cool ability. It's basically like a stronger version of his W is a way to think of it. It just lifts more things and it's easier. It lifts them all instantly and stuff like that. So it's really good. Same problem with the W though. If you're not near anything, it's useless. If you're fighting outside the Kongor pit, this hero essentially has 2 skills. The W and R are both useless if there's nothing around to lift up. So there's problems there. Although that does mean that the hero synergizes a bit with like Balfagor and heroes that have minions, Keeper, things like that. Because I believe you can lift and throw their minions if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I believe that would be accurate. So, we've talked about his skills and their weaknesses and strengths, things like that. What role is he? He kind of fits in a pseudo support role, like a secondary support, so to speak. He can't really hard support, and his babysitting is it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay, I guess. He also fits into the role of a, you know, an intelligence carry, kind of like Elonia in that sense. That's the way I like to play him. I think it's better. I actually did start out a little bit of a supporty role in this game, you know, at Gnomes, Charged Hammer, or not Charged Hammer, sorry, Grave Locket. You know, I was babysitting Hammerstorm, who actually didn't end up doing all that. Or sorry, Gladiator, not Hammerstorm. But so anyways, I think he works better as a carry rather than, or like a kind of an intelligence carry rather than a, you know, a secondary support or a babysitter. That's my opinion. In that role, by the way, he's not even close to the best. You know, I think Elonia is far better. There are a number of heroes that are just, you know, they just beat that hero at that role quite a bit. It's just the way it is. So, I mean, it's not to say that he's horrendous in the role. There are certainly worse. But, you know, Elonia, I think, does better as an intelligence carry. Pyro does better as an intelligence carry, you know. Even, I like Soul Reaper as somewhat of an intelligence carry, too, and he does pretty well. He's pretty tanky, he's hard to kill, so, you know, he's throwing out heals left and right. That's nice. Things like that. So he doesn't really do his role all that well. Okay, so we've talked about that a little bit. I just want to briefly talk about why he's not picked up. He's not picked up because he doesn't fill his role well. I know I mentioned that he doesn't fill his role well, but his role as an intelligence carry, first of all, you don't see them too often in the current metagame. Usually, you know, Pyromancers are played as secondary supports, Elonias aren't picked up, Soul Reapers are played, they're not really played as intelligence carries, though they're really played as like tanks that just spam heal for the most part. You know, you just build like Behemoth's Heart, you know, Frostfield play, just tank up and then just spam Q pretty much. Get your Q and Wither off, and, you know, that's how you'll do damage and heal and help your team. But, so intelligence carries really aren't picked up in the current metagame, and that's just because they don't fit into the style. You usually like hard carries better, and you don't need so many carries on the team, so hard carries take the role of carry, and then the intelligence carries get kind of just dropped off, because you don't need them anymore. Or they're forced to fill secondary support roles. So first of all, his role isn't really needed. Second of all, I mean, you can play him as a secondary support. So secondary supports are needed. I'm not saying those aren't needed. I'm saying that his primary role, in my opinion, isn't really needed. So his role isn't super necessary, okay, to start. And then on top of that, there are better heroes in his role, really, okay? So I would say that the hero doesn't get picked up for those particular reasons, alright? And my total overall score for the hero would be a 2. 2 out of 5. He's really fun to play, but the hero really isn't all that strong. Again, in, you know, the intelligence carry role, there are better, and, you know, as a secondary support, he's really not that strong either. There are better in that lanes, in that regards too. So the hero isn't particularly strong, he's just fun to play. I think you guys should give him a try still. He's still a fun hero to play. Loads of fun to play to, you know, if you're near trees, to nuke out, you know, 400 here and 700 damage there that quickly is just loads of fun to just watch heroes drop, especially squishy heroes. You know, 1100 damage pre-mitigation is enough to just wipe the floor of some squishy hero who's not that high up. And, you know, I mean, it's fun. It is a fun hero to play, so you guys should give it a try still. Now, that doesn't mean that the hero is useful in that regards. I don't think he is, so I think you guys should consider picking somebody else if you're playing to win. But if you're playing for fun, then certainly by all means, you know, enjoy it and give it a shot. And I think in casual mode is the best place to do it. So I hope it was helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, you guys want to put them. If you have any requests, by the way, after Rhapsody, I'll be looking for more requests, so send those my way. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys later, alright? GG, well played, guys. Elfis out.